All right, so we were looking at type 2 equations today, and these equations are going to have two steps or two operations that have to be done in order to solve for the variable. So the first step is always do the opposite of addition or subtraction first, and then secondly, you would do opposite of multiplication or division secondly. All right, so those are the two steps. So it's very important that you're doing any opposite of addition or subtraction first. So let's take a look at our example. So our example we have is 5x minus 7, and it's equal to 8. All right, and we have left-hand side and our right-hand side like this. So when we are doing opposite operations, you have to make sure that whatever you've done to the left-hand side, you also do to the right-hand side. All right, so in this case, we have 5x minus 7. So our rule is we always do the opposite of addition or subtraction first. All right, so we have a negative 7 here, or minus 7. So the opposite of that is to add 7. All right, but because we do it to the left-hand side of our equal sign, you have to do it to the right-hand side as well. All right, so then I usually just show a line like this to show the next step or what the equation looks like next. So on the left-hand side, negative 7 and positive 7, that becomes 0, and we're left with 5x on the left-hand side. And then 8 plus 7 is equal to 15. All right, so now we have 5x, meaning 5 times x is equal to 15. So now we're looking at a type 1 equation again. The opposite of multiplying is dividing. So we divide by 5 on both sides. And remember, we're working on these equations to isolate x and get x by itself. So 5x divided by 5 leaves me with 1x, or just x, and then 15 divided by 5 is equal to 3. All right, so our answer is that x is equal to 3. And you can do a quick check by substituting 3 into the x of the original equation. So 5 times 3 minus 7 has to equal to 8. So left-hand side has to equal to the right-hand side. So 5 times 3 is 15, minus 7, that has to equal to 8 for this to be correct. 15 minus 7 is equal to 8, and so we have 8 is equal to 8. Left-hand side is equal to the right-hand side, and therefore we've done that correctly. So our next example we have is x over 8 plus 3 is equal to 12. So according to our rules, again, we're trying to solve for x. We want x to be isolated. We want x to be all by itself on one side of the equation. And we have to work with any opposite of addition subtraction first. So we have a plus 3 here, or a positive 3. So the opposite of that is to subtract 3. So I'm just going to show that I'm subtracting 3. But what we do to the left-hand side of the equation, you have to do to the right-hand side of the equation. So you have to subtract 3 on the right-hand side as well. All right, so plus 3 minus 3, that leaves us with 0. Positive 3 and negative 3 is just 0. And we're left with x over 8 is equal to 12 minus 3. 12 minus 3 is 9. And last step here, because it's x divided by 8 equals to 9, the opposite of division is to multiply. So we're going to multiply both sides by 8, and I'm just going to show it like this, just showing it by brackets. All right, so this becomes 8x divided by 8, which is just 1x. And then we have 9 times 8, which is equal to 72. So x is equal to 72. And let's do a quick check to make sure that it does work, just by substituting 72 in here for x. So 72 divided by 8 plus 3 has to equal to 12. And then 72 divided by 8, 9 plus 3, that has to equal to 12. 9 plus 3 does equal to 12. So both sides are equal to 12, and therefore it's verified. All right, so our next example, we have x over 5 plus 7 is equal to 9.3. All right, so it's just got a decimal in here, but the procedure stays the same. Work with addition subtraction first. So we have adding 7 here. So the opposite of that is to subtract 7 on both sides. And that leaves us with x over 5 is equal to 9.3 minus 7, which is equal to 2.3. And last step, opposite of dividing is multiplying. So we'll multiply by 5, both sides. That leaves me with 5x divided by 5, which is just 1x. And then 2.3 times 5, I'm just going to use my calculator, which is 11.5. All right, I'm just going to put an example here for you guys to try, and then we'll go over it in a sec. 5x minus 9 is equal to 8. Okay, give that a try. All right, so for this example, 5x minus 9 equals to 8. We're going to work with our addition subtraction first. So we have a minus 9 here, so we have to add 9. Add 9 to both sides. That leaves me with 5x is equal to 17. And then I have to divide both sides by 5. And 5x divided by 5 leaves me with just x. So you can leave x is equal to 17 over 5. If you wanted to leave it as a fraction, just make sure that you have reduced the fraction. You can also put it into decimal form, just 17 divided by 5, and that gives me x is equal to 3.4. All right, so either answer would be acceptable, fraction or decimal.